When I was born, I was in a bad state. Hindi ako humihinga and was completely blue. The nurse and my mom were freaking out while another nurse ran out of the room. Quickly, the doctor ran back and began to work to save my life. What happened was the delivery started while everyone was not around, earlier than they thought. Bumalik ang nurse to check on my mom and they couldn't believe what they saw and thought it would be a smart idea to shove me back inside of my mom. Mom was frazzled and confused, but before she could even ask if it was standard procedure, body fluids were getting inside of my lungs. I couldn't breathe. The doctor managed to get me breathing again, had me hooked up to wires. I seemed okay when I was brought home, but by age 2, I was showing signs that something was definitely not okay. I started to rock back and forth and have constant seizures. I never cried if my diaper needed changing or if I was hurt or hungry. If I needed something, mom and dad had to check on their own because I gave no signs. Pinasok ako sa ospital to figure out the strange behavior. It turns out, I had autism. The doctor didn't think I'd live very long and would never mentally age past 2. He suggested that my parents should lock me away because I'd be a vegetable my whole life. But my mom refused to send me away, kept me, and did her best to care for me. I required a lot of special attention. Natuwa ako sa cartoons, so mom would often leave the TV on because cartoons kept me calm. I loved The Lion King and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Pumasok ako sa school for disabled kids at 5. At 6, I went to a public school and was in special ed. I had trouble making friends. I tried to befriend everyone. I'd give them an uncolored page from my Powerpuff Girls coloring book, only to find these pages crumpled up, uncolored, on the ground. Everyone at school found me freaky. I was never good at sports. Still am not. I didn't know how to play a single game in PE. No, ayaw namin sa kanya. Great, matatalo tayo, were typical comments I'd often hear as I was picked, usually last, into a team. Maiinis sa akin ang buong team because I made them lose. I didn't understand what I did wrong. Their comments made me feel even more insecure than I already was. School was a very lonely time for me. I always carried a doll of one of the Ninja Turtles, Raphael. I considered Raph my best friend. I took him everywhere. He kept me happy in this real world where I didn't seem to fit into. One day, nakikipaglaro ako kay Raph in class during playtime. I was so caught up in the fantasy world that I didn't hear the teacher say, "Put the toys away." So when I didn't put Raph away, she took him from me, which really upset me. I had a hard time dealing with emotions. None of my classmates were sympathetic. Tinukso lang nila ako. I continued to feel unwanted, and I was constantly teased right through school and into my teens. At school, everyone called me emo. I'd get laughed at, be given dirty looks if I even held a piece of food. Because I felt embarrassed, I started to avoid most meals and even began losing too much weight. I felt like no one liked me, like everyone would be happier if I was gone. So I decided to test that out. In music class, we were watching a movie. We were all sitting in chairs on mini bleachers. Nasa likod ako, sa may kanto. I slowly scooted my chair close to the edge, to a point where I fell over. I landed on my back. The chair landed on me. Tumahimik ang kwarto tapos tumawa lahat. Not a single kid asked if I was okay. One even said it was the best thing that ever happened. I pretended to laugh, but on the inside, I was destroyed. It didn't help that my online life was no better. Me being a stupid kid, I did pretty much questionable things on my old DeviantArt page. May napikon sa akin that they made an entire journal post ranting about me. After reading this, I started to get angry and bitter. I started cutting my legs and chest with a shaving razor as a way of coping. I was getting hundreds of people online going onto my page and mocking me. May ibang tao na pinoprotektahan ako. They got backlash too. One person even went into full detail describing how they would hurt me. Trauma ako. It still honestly messes me up to this day. Soon my family found out I was cutting because one weekend I refused to change into shorts and a swimsuit. When they finally saw what I was doing, I literally got lectured all night. I didn't need to be lectured. I knew what I was doing wasn't okay. I desperately needed the constant teasing and nasty comments to stop. I got put on antidepressants after that and had therapy for a while. I still often feel down, but I stopped with the shaving razor. I just slip off into my own world and imagine hanging out with fictional characters who like me. I've always been mocked for being a fangirl of fictional characters, but it's literally part of who I am, even as a kid. I was like that. I guess it's my coping mechanism. During my teen years, I was into Invader Zim. Now, as an adult, it's under Fell Sands. Alam kong hindi totoo, pero may nararamdaman akong malakas na connection sa kanya. He was lazy, loved to sleep, is misunderstood, likes to crack jokes, is looked down upon by most. I relate to that. He's my comfort character. Pinapasaya niya ako. I don't get mocked for it too much now. Most people think it's adorable and are understanding. As an adult, my autism has improved a lot. I am a high-functioning autistic. I like to draw, even though I don't think it's that good. I have a small YouTube channel that does commentary on certain things. I have a part-time job. My customers love me. Most of my crew do too. But my life is that extra bit harder for me, and I do still suffer problems. Adults with autism tend to get made fun of. I hope I can teach others na hindi ito nakakatawa. It's actually a huge struggle. It took me so long to control mine better. I still have problems with it. I worked really hard to get to where I am now, even though it may seem like nothing. I know now that even though I get shaky about a lot of things, that I'm not alone, and I have brought inspiration to people. People tell me that my content makes them feel better. Knowing my stories have given others hope and the satisfaction of knowing they aren't alone in their problems fills me with joy. Masaya ako na may stuff lightens others' day.